All right, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
This is still a little different, and can't wait to see everybody in person. So we're going to try to get through as many people as possible today. So just a reminder, the meeting is going to be recorded. If you don't want to be recorded, please let myself or Teresa know. So we're going to just go have you share your comments, concerns, announcements, any updates. Teresa has the ground rules on the screen. So once again, the call is being recorded. Just be respectful of everyone. Try to stay on topic. One person speak at a time. And with this Zoom, it's really helpful. Raise your hand and we will call on you, and use the chat box.
And this,
So,
hi everybody, this is Teresa. Just so you know what I sound like. If I pop on to say something, I'm helping with the technology side of things. I don't have my video on today because I'm Saturday morning style here, like I was a kid. And then the other thing I was going to say, in the chat box, if you don't know how to like raise your hand or whatever on Zoom, you can just write in the chat box like, hey, I want to say something or comment, but I don't know how to do the raise my hand button. That's totally fine. And you can mute and unmute yourself when you're called on. If you are on the phone, you are going to press, I believe it's *9 to raise your hand and *6 to mute and unmute yourself. Or you can unmute yourself and say, hey, I'm on the phone, and the raise hand thing isn't working. But so anyhow, we just wanted to make sure we let people know that there are people who are on the phone or who may be on the phone and don't have a visual. Not sure if we have anybody like that, but we might. So just be mindful of that if you're showing a slide or something. That's it, Lucille. And then I've got the agenda up on here too, if you want me to scroll through it.
all right. Thank you so much, Teresa. Like once again, if we run out of time, what everyone's sharing. So calling the meeting to order right now. Try to do your comments, concerns, announcements, and then we'll have our presenters at 10:30. So if we run out of time as sharing, we will pick it up after the presentation until the end of the meeting. So, but Chris has a few things that he wanted to go over and share with everyone. So, Chris.
Yes, good morning, everyone. As you well know, back on July 17th, who I consider to be a great American hero has passed, and his funeral was Thursday. And he wrote a letter to the New York Times that he wished to be published on the day of his funeral. And I'd like to take the time to read John Lewis's last message to America, followed by a moment of silence for what I consider to be a great American hero. While my time here has now come to an end, I want you to know that in the last days and hours of my life, that you inspired me. You filled me with hope about the next chapter of the great American story when you used your power to make a difference in our society. Millions of people, motivated simply by human compassion, laid down the burdens of division. Around the country and the world, you set aside race, class, age, language, and nationality to demand respect for human dignity. That is why I had to visit Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, though I was admitted to the hospital the following day. I just had to see and feel it for myself, that after many years of silent witness, the truth is still marching on. Emmett Till was my George Floyd. He was my Rayshard Brooks, Sandra Bland, and Breonna Taylor. He was 14 when he was killed, and I was only 15 years old at the time. I will never, ever forget the moment when it became so clear that he could have easily been me. In those days, fear constrained us like an imaginary prison, and troubling thoughts of potential brutality committed for no understandable reason were the bars. Though I was surrounded by two loving parents, plenty of brothers, sisters, and cousins, their love could not protect me from the unholy oppression waiting just outside that family circle. Unchecked, unrestrained violence and government-sanctioned terror had the power to turn a simple stroll to the store for some Skittles or an innocent morning jog down a lonesome country road into a nightmare. If we are to survive as one unified nation, we must discover that what so readily takes root in our hearts, that could rob Mother Emanuel Church in South Carolina of her best and brightest, shoot unwitting concertgoers in Las Vegas, and choke to death the hopes and dreams of a gifted violinist like Elijah McClain. Like so many young people today, I was searching for a way out, or some might say, a way in. And then I heard the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on an old radio. He was talking about the philosophy and discipline of nonviolence. He said we are all complicit when we tolerate injustice. He said it is not enough to say it will get better by and by. He said each one of us has a moral obligation to stand up, and speak out. When you see something that is not right, you must say something. You must do something. Democracy is not a state, it is an act. And each generation must do its part to help build what we call the beloved community, a nation and world society at peace with itself. Ordinary people with extraordinary vision can redeem the soul of America by getting in what I call good trouble, necessary trouble. Voting and participating in the democratic process are key. The vote is the most powerful nonviolent change agent you have in a democratic society. You must use it because it is not guaranteed. You can lose it. You must also study and learn the lessons of history because humanity has been involved in this soul-wrenching existential struggle for a very long time. People on every continent have stood in your shoes through decades and centuries before you. The truth does not change, and that is why the answers worked out long ago can help you find solutions to the challenges of our time. Continue to build union between movements stretching across the globe because we must put away our willingness to profit from the exploitation of others. Though I may not be with you, I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe. In my life, I have done all I can to demonstrate that the way of peace, the way of love and nonviolence, is the more excellent way. Now it is your turn to let freedom ring. When historians pick up their pens to write the story of the 21st century, let them say that it was your generation who laid down the heavy burdens of hate at last, and that peace finally triumphed over violence, aggression, and war. So I say to you, walk with the wind, brothers and sisters, and let the spirit of peace and the power of everlasting love be your guide.
Thanks, Chris.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
Lucia, this is Teresa. I just want to make sure that new people who have joined while Chris was speaking, there's 29 people on the phone call now. But I just want to let you guys know for people who joined us a little late, the meeting is being recorded. And if you do not want to be recorded, please send me a private chat or just say on the screen. But if you send me a private chat, I can pause the recording before you start talking. So please just let us know, myself or Lucille, if you don't want to be recorded for the people who just joined. And then if you just joined, everybody is on mute while we're sharing, but you can mute and unmute yourself. So you do have control over that. That's it. Just we have 30 people now. We started with like 15. So we had a lot of people join while you guys were talking. All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Teresa. Just saw in the chat box that Willie Smith just recently lost his mother. So if those of you that know him, if you can keep him and his family in your prayers, and if, give him a call. Thanks. All right, who would like to share first today? And so just if you haven't met me or haven't seen me in a while, I am a little visually challenged, so I'm trying to see that itty bitty chat box. So
Okay, here's Karma.
Oh, Karma.
And share something right quick. And this is on behalf of the Mott Foundation. They have announced that voting, they're ready for people to start voting on Focus on Flint. It's the Focus on Flint follow-up. And we will be voting for lots of stuff. I've already gone through it, and it's a long list, and you get 10 choices, and you get to create a budget also, and it's all online on the focusonflint.org website. So people that were concerned about cleaning up in the neighborhoods, thank you, Teresa. Cleaning up in neighborhoods, they have bus stop beautification, sidewalk repair, street light repair, boarding up homes, bike lanes, commercial as well as residential demolition. And they also have something in here that I would love for everyone that's a part of a neighborhood association and a resident in the city of Flint to actually vote on. And that is providing $250,000 to the community foundation. And it's listed down near the bottom as a project. I just want to throw that out there. Your choice, but I would love if you do that. So it's a total of $1 million for the neighborhoods of Flint. Go to focusonflint.org so you can vote. And it will take a little time because there's a lot in that, on those lists. There's a lot there. Great opportunity. And if you have any additional questions, are you ready? I'm going to give you a phone number. It's Jennifer Acree. Her last name is spelled A-C-R-E-E. And the phone number, her direct line is 810-766-1725. Again, that's 810-766-1725. And thank you, Talia. And that's all I have.
And I'm gonna jump in. I have a couple of updates from a couple of folks here that they sent me this stuff and says I'm not going to be there, so can you please read this? Jane Richardson is down at City Hall as we speak, working with the clerk's office. So she wanted me to remind people to vote. You can vote at City Hall today, tomorrow, and Monday. You can't pick up an absentee ballot at this point in time, but you can go down to City Hall today, tomorrow, and Monday until 5 o'clock, and you can vote. The drop boxes for absentee ballots can be used until Monday at 5 p.m. They are at City Hall, Burston Fieldhouse, Word of Life Ministries on Atherton Road, Mintz Manor, and the West Court Street Church of God. So if you don't want to vote on Tuesday or go to your voting place on Tuesday, you don't feel like going out wearing a mask, you can put your ballot in all those places today, tomorrow, and Monday. I also have an update from Kitty Kazal of the Downtown Flint Neighborhood Residents Association. Let me get my glasses on so I can actually read this. Downtown appears to be getting back to a new normal. As more people return to work, there are more people on the streets going about their lives. Downtown restaurants are doing everything they can with outdoor seating and taking necessary steps for a safe dining experience, according to the governor's guidelines. There were major issues in the flat lot regarding pop-up parties lasting until 3 a.m., but those have been addressed by the city of Flint. As of right now, we've not had a pop-up party in the Flint lot for the last 4 weekends. Residents were on top of it from the beginning, and it appears our voices were heard. Our downtown neighborhood felt the aftermath with trash, some businesses having damage done to their storefront, etc. Kitty says she will be working on putting together a cleanup crew in the next couple of weeks with the residents, and hopefully we can begin cleaning up the alleys and public spaces. We feel that the DDA and the director are not doing enough, and we want to continue to have the downtown area look welcoming and clean for folks who come here and support the businesses. We all know that a strong downtown enhances our neighborhoods. I plan on having a resident meeting soon as we can collectively talk about the goals and return to our mission. That's from Katie Gazal of the Downtown Flint Neighborhood Residents Association.
Thanks, Chris. All right.
This is Teresa. I just wanted to let people know I'm helping Lucille call on folks. So yeah, if you hear me call on you, it's because I'm scrolling through the pages and stuff so that she doesn't have to do all of that, or she'll just call on you.
All right, who would like to go next? I don't see anyone.
Hi, this is Ashley Everett from the Neighborhood Engagement Hub. I just wanted to let everybody know that the Neighborhood Engagement Hub is in the process of planning a virtual weekend wind down Facebook Live fundraising event. So on Sunday, August 16th, from 4 to 7, we're going to have a DJ do a Facebook Live event for us. So join us on Facebook Live, grab your grill and do a barbecue, or, finish up some of your errands, or just take some time to make space in your living room and join us for a little dance party. All of the proceeds will go to support Neighborhood Engagement Hub programs and services in the upcoming year. We usually do an annual fundraiser, an in-person meeting in October, and we're not sure whether or not we'll be able to do that at this point, given where we are with COVID. So this fundraiser is going to be really critical to supporting our operations in the 2021 season. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. I'll provide additional information on our Facebook page, and I'll make sure to share it out with Chris and Karma and Talia so that it can go out to the full listserv once those flyers are available. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, Kate is next. Are you on mute?
Thank you. I'm talking for the Traffic Taming Task Force in Flint, and I really would like to quote two of the messages that we heard from Chris when he did that reading. One is we need to have respect for human dignity, and we can't tolerate injustice. Now, when I'm talking about taming traffic, Thursday I got an alert from our radar sign that measures traffic on Grand Traverse, North Grand Traverse, of a vehicle traveling 72 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone at 4 in the afternoon. And this is not acceptable. And one of our task force members said we need to concentrate on respect of life and respect of law. When we respect our neighbors, we're not going to drive at 72 miles an hour when there's children and bicycles. And there's right near where our radar sign is, there's a bicycle lane crossing. Now this 72 mile an hour happens almost daily, but at 4, sometimes this speed happens at night, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, but now there's people on the street. When I looked at the report, I found out that 27% of all the traffic on a daily basis, and there's about an average of 3,500 cars going one way on North Travis. We're tracking northbound traffic. 27% of the traffic is at medium to high risk. So if you got hit by a car or a vehicle traveling, your chances of living would be not under 50%. Anyway, if we were to give those 891 people a $100 ticket for speeding, in one day we'd make $89,000. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but the driving is crazier. we can't tolerate people when we live in neighborhoods and this isn't the only street. We had Pengali Road. We were getting 70-mile-an-hour traffic there too, and there's a park right there. So what we're doing at our Taming Traffic Task Force is, first of all, bringing awareness and to our community about we need to respect the law and we need to respect the life of our neighbors. And also we're forming a subcommittee to take all of this information that we've been collecting to the city council. And we're working also with distracted driving, because distracted driving kills more people today than drunken driving. And we've got two very critical issues, and I'm not going to give up like Chris said in his reading. I'm going to make some good trouble. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Sharika Howard, and Keep Genesee County Beautiful.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Sharika Howard from Keep Genesee County Beautiful. I wanted to let you guys know that we have a grant that we received, but it was received to do programming in the parks for our youth, but due to the COVID, we're not doing any type of gathering in the parks, so we talked to our funders. The grant that we have now is for neighborhood groups and organizations that are looking to somehow bring fun and social distancing to your neighborhood, whether it's bringing your neighborhood together and you get out and you paint your curbs or put flower pots out. Look at our website and to submit the application for that. Any way of interacting with your neighbors and the youth in the community to bring everyone together to just, right now is a hard time for everybody. So just bringing your neighborhood together to come together. Also, we have I have two neighborhood activity kits that are left. In those kits, it consists of 25 of like kites, jump ropes, chalk, to disperse throughout your neighborhood to kids, to get kids outside, but to keep them within their yards or within social distancing still, but keeping them outside and being active instead of just being stuck in the house all the time. So we do have 2 of those kits that are left. And if you are interested in those kits, we do ask that you disperse them throughout your neighborhood and community. Reach out to us at KGCB. I'll put the information in the chat box, or you can also go onto KGCB Facebook page.
All right, thank you, Sharika. Vivian Williams is next.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry if I have to speak a little low. I am actually watching a baby. Good morning. I just wanted to say that we are hosting our virtual Pitch for K competition on August 6th, and that people who wish to watch can join via live stream Facebook. And as you all know, we typically do a series of Pitch for K competitions. So this will be the first one out of the year. So definitely look forward to seeing 2 more. And we will adjust, and if it needs to be virtual as well. We're just kind of taking it slow and just seeing how things turn out. And then on top of that, we've recently created or joined with a company called V1 in efforts to produce a hackathon. And so for 72 hours from August 15th to August 17th, participants will be allowed to create an app through V1, which is a no-code application. You drag and drop to create the app. Participants get, again, 72 hours to create the app. People vote on the app via the V1 website, and then the most votes is the winner, and they receive $500. And those who created apps can continue to have their app for $8 a month, or they can just delete their app after the competition. And I also wanted to, in reference to the last comment that was made about youth engagement, we had some fellows over the summer. We hosted a fellowship virtually. And one of the things that they created was an activity book for the Whaley's Children's Center. And so within that activity book, of course, we try to promote entrepreneurship and innovation, but it's also something for youth to kind of do by themselves. There's some information included on how to talk to children about COVID-19 and how to manage, anxiety and frustrations that may come from this experience. So we recently posted a blog with the link to that activity book, but I'm more than happy to send the direct link and materials to Chris, I believe normally who I email things to. Let me know if you all think that will be helpful. And those are all of my updates. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tom Allen? Are you on mute, Tom?
There you go. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, and Kersley Park Neighborhood Association and the park group for Kersley Park, the Kersley Park Muskrats, we had one heck of a cleanup about 10 days ago or so, and Bernash Wrecking gave us a dumpster. Thank you, Heather. And we filled that thing, and we put in a lot of junk that had been hauled out of the park, especially out of the creek. And we went a few blocks away and grabbed a big pile of blight junk that had been thrown out and had been sitting there for months. We had not been able to get the city to come by and pick it up. But that all went in the dumpster, and there is a tremendous spirit of cooperation. We're happy about that. The Mott baseball people are very happy with the way we've been cleaning up the park, and quite a few people come to see that baseball and park over there. And we've cleaned up that nice and thoroughly. I see it needs it again, but what else is new? And so we're enjoying all this, and the wildlife in the park continues to be noticed. I saw crayfish about 6 inches long in the creek. Now, I don't know how excited everybody's going to get about a crayfish, but that's part of the ecology of the whole world at this point, to have little islands where it's taken care of and valued. And we are also very pleased with the fact that Nancy Edwards has gotten a new play structure on the Genevieve Donnelly Pavilion side of the park. It's really nice, and we're happy to see people out there picnicking and using the park, walking, running, bringing families. And as you probably know, there have been quite a few shootings all around. We have had a lot in our Kersley Park Neighborhood Association area. We just appreciate what law enforcement is doing and cooperating with them the best we can, attempting everything we can to make the neighborhood better. Thank you. I'm in with that. Holy cow.
Oh, sorry. Thanks. Kay Sorts from Public Library.
Morning, everybody. I am happy to tell you that the Flint Public Library did open for business at Cortlandt Center a week ago Thursday. We have very similar hours at Cortlandt Center to what we had normally at our library on Kersley Street. So our day starts at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so that we're able to stay open until 7:30 p.m. for evening hours for those people who need it. Friday and Saturday, we're open 9 to 5:30. The number 10 Richfield Road bus serves Cortlandt Center. And of course, everybody has to wear a mask to just even get into the mall, let alone get into the library. So we do require that people ages 5 and older are masked the entire time that they're in the library. We're in what we call a browse and go mode. So we're asking people to spend no more than an hour in the library with us. So for those of you who just want to make a really quick trip in, you could put your books on hold that you're interested in, and wait for the email or the text message that says that your holds have been pulled, and you would be able to walk right in, go over to the hold shelf, and pick up your books, check out, and leave for almost contactless visit to the library if that's what you're comfortable with. We do take holds online or over the phone. And if you need your library card renewed or forgot your PIN number, you can call the library, and we're being very liberal about giving out that information now over the phone. The other thing I will tell you, well, we're not open for computer access until this Thursday. We have a space that's separate. We have two spaces at Cortland Center. One we call Main Library, the other the Annex. The Annex is opening this Thursday, and again, it will be 1 hour visit, so the computers will be limited to 1 hour computer access. We are social distancing within those spaces. With the computer use, every user is going to, there won't be any keyboards and mice at the computers. You'll come to the desk and one of our staff members will take over a disinfected computer keyboard and mouse and plug it in for you, and then you'll bring it back to us for the disinfecting process when you finish using the computer. So all these things. Let's see, one thing I really want to emphasize is, we were chatting before this meeting started about who's going out to restaurants or who's doing takeout. And I said, well, I'm doing takeout because I want to keep the restaurants that I love open for business. So there is a great option like that for libraries, which is your digital downloads. So we have a really large collection of ebooks, downloadable audiobooks. We have online magazines that we have purchased for you with the money that you give us to run the Flint Public Library. And so you can use your device, and many people are finding more and more uses for their devices nowadays. Even, your telephone. I have my digital audiobooks on my phone, and so I listen to books through my phone. And you can get an e-card from the Flint Public Library. If you don't have a card at all, if you do have a card but it's expired, call us. We'll get it reactivated for you. If you don't have a Flint Public Library card, there's a way to get an e-card from our website. Look for the e-card information, and you can just sign up right there to get a pretend barcode and PIN, and you can start using our digital assets right then. Normally, that e-card is only available to people in Flint zip codes, but because of the crisis now and because of summer reading that we wanted every child to be able to participate in, we've opened that up to any zip code in Genesee County through the end of September, but it always works for people in Flint zip codes. So if you have any questions about how to use any of these things, call the library, talk to one of our staff members, and they can help you, talk you through it. But we would also really love to see people at Cortland Center. I will say the work at Kearsley Street is going on really fast. They are hoping that they can do the construction in about 14 months. And then we would need probably, judging from the move on the way in or on the way out of the building, I would say from the day we take possession of the building from the construction company, it'll probably be 2.5, 3 months before we would be able to open. But it's going. We're very lucky that the people of Flint allowed us to issue bonds. And that we've got some wonderful grants from our local funders, the largest one being Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, and had that all secured and the money in the bank before COVID. So it's a go, and we're really looking forward to, the query today was, what are you doing to remedy blight in your neighborhood? Well, by golly, we're delivering a new library building on Kearsley Street in about 14 months. So anyway, that's the news.
Thanks, Kay. That sounds exciting. All right, anyone else would like to share? All right, ever have any announcements?
Lucille, this is Teresa from the crowd.
Okay.
I have my video on now. So yes, I have something to share from the Crim Fitness Foundation. I just wanted to let everybody know that our advocate coalition, the Safe and Genesee for Everyone, um, we are meeting the third Friday of every, well, not meet, we're meeting on Zoom the third Friday of every month at 1 o'clock. We met in February and then we took a pause because of COVID. So we had our last meeting last month and the mayor was on the call. We're hoping to have guest speakers like senators and mayors and elected officials or community partners on our calls in the future. We focus on improving the policies and the environment for people to be able to walk and bike and take the bus and basically use your body to be outdoors and get around and active transportation, those kind of things, parks and trails. So if somebody's interested in bike lanes in the neighborhood, they would often come to Sage and ask for advice and get partners or collaborate, things like that. So I do want to make sure that you all are welcome and invited. I know some of you have been before. I think we had 40 people on the call last time. So if you are interested, you can just send me a message in the chat and I'll make sure you get on that email list so that you are, so you have the Zoom link and know when it's coming up. And bring any of your things that you want to share. So that's all that I have. And Lucille, I see that, I don't know if you're going down this list on the screen now. I know Chris has his hand up, but I know you also have a list too. So just let me know.
Lucille, this is Cheryl Christoph.
Okay, hi Cheryl.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to, I can only manually raise my hand. I'm from West Flint Community Watch, and I just wanted to report that this summer we have socially distanced with masks and tidied up 9 properties, primarily commercial, many of which are land bank properties on Corona Road. So we will continue doing that this summer. We also hope to get a dumpster behind Zimmerman School and get somebody to tow away the boats that have been abandoned there and get busy cleaning up that area. So that's what we've been up to. That's what we're looking forward to. The one question I have for everybody is, who do I contact or how do I get help for squatters who are in private residences and the owners show no interest in getting people who are dealing drugs at night out of their homes? If anybody has suggestions.
Anyone has any suggestions?
Kramer, Trooper Kramer, calling Trooper Kramer.
Thank you. Will do.
I am sorry, I had to step away. I didn't catch what the question was.
Who do I call to get help with squatters in private residences whose owners are either out of state or show no interest in the people who are selling drugs out of their homes?
Hi.
So
Hi.
I will be contacting Trooper Kramer.
Hi, this is Claudia Perkins Milton. Can
Yes.
you hear me? Oh, I was going to say, isn't there a task force within the police department that could help with that situation?
There may be with Flint. There's not with the state police. It would be a Flint police issue.
Yeah.
Big issue with squatters is it becomes civil issues, not criminal ones. The difference there would be the selling drugs, things like that, then becomes a criminal issue.
Right.
It's something that law enforcement can get involved in. But as far as who owns the property and squatting and things like that, not a whole lot law enforcement can do about that other than the activities that are going on. That is something, Flint does have a task force. I would, if you have certain addresses that this is going on at, send them to me. The cat squad, I believe with Flint is still around. If you contact.
No, it is not. I'm sorry. That is one of the problems. This is Claudia.
It's not called the cat squad anymore, but they have something similar.
Oh, okay.
Contact the chief, Phil Hart, who is actually very community oriented. If you get with him, he will at least do what he can or give you some additional resources. I can say if you forward me an email, and I'll put my email address here in the chat for everybody. Send me the addresses. I send that to my assistant post commander, Lieutenant Short, and he's actually been very active also with putting that out to our Flint City detail to at least put extra eyes and patrols in those areas. So the best thing I can do for you is put the information out to the road troops and have them at least pay special attention to those areas if that's where the criminal activity is going on. Like I said, the squatting issue is not really anything we can do about, but we can try to curb some of the criminal activity that's going on in those locations.
So I got a question.
Sure.
Is there anything you can do about squatters at all?
Can I speak to this for a second?
The property
This is Judge
owner,
Herman Merrill.
Okay, 1 second, one person at a time. I see Julie Lopez also had something to say about it. So who just spoke?
I asked a question, Claudia Perkins Milton. I asked, was there anything that could be done about squatters at all?
Okay, so that sounds like since we're looking at the chat, is not a clear information going out. So we will try to get some more information and we'll share that with the group of how to address.
I guess I can address that for a second. Give me an opportunity.
Okay, introduce yourself one more time.
Judge Herman Marable from 67th District Court.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me go back to the issue with the squatters in the drug house. The prosecuting attorney's office has the power to padlock houses or businesses that are a public nuisance. The padlocking law has been used in this county in the past to padlock drug houses for up to a year. And what is needed is a number of documented police contacts, arrests, that sort of things with the house, so that a petition can be done to do a padlocking action. It's been done before. I don't know if it's been done recently, but that's how this issue has been addressed in the past.
Okay.
When I was in the prosecutor's office, I did padlock.
Okay.
As to the squatting issue, that is the responsibility of the owner of the property. If they don't want to get a squatter out of the property, it really falls on them, unless, again, the people are committing a crime or crimes and it becomes a public nuisance. So, anyway.
Okay. All right, thank you. Julie Lopez.
Yes, thank you. I just want to say with what was said by the judge and with Trooper Kramer is even though people are calling the police and they're feeling that they're not getting anything done about it, you can also contact Crime Stoppers. And then what we do is we send that on also. So it's another report that is going to be hopefully looked at. They'll send it possibly to the patrol squad so that they're aware of it. So I would recommend that people do that also.
All right, thank you. I see that Mayor Neely has just joined us. So if you heard that last question, will be helpful if we can get some information on. You don't have to give it now. Maybe we can get that information to give out to the group at a later time. Okay, so
This is Teresa. I'm just doing a time check. You've got like maybe 15 minutes left.
Yes.
Yep, before you need to move on to the presentations.
Yes. Okay, so for Sharon, we have Karma, Chris, and Judge Marable. So Karma, did you want to share?
I just wanted to send a shout out to the Crim Foundation, because if not for the Crim Foundation, we would not be having this meeting. Teresa and the Crim Foundation, they're doing a lot in this community that I don't think people realize. So please support the Crim Foundation and Teresa Roach.
Thanks.
Thanks, Karma. Thanks, Teresa and the Crim Foundation.
I'm getting a lot of feedback. Can everybody please put their, oh, never mind. I got it. I put somebody on mute and got rid of it.
Okay, Chris, you had something else to share?
I just wanted to piggyback a little bit on Kate's report with the traffic taming task force, and it's kind of an anecdotal thing. You know, for the last couple of years, we've been discussing various ways to slow down traffic on city streets, and one of the things we were discussing is 3D crosswalks and that kind of stuff. And we've gotten quite a bit of blowback from the city and the state about well, there's only so much you can do with crosswalks. You have to meet these certain criteria to make them work. But I wanted to mention the Black Lives Matter mural on Martin Luther King Avenue, and we have some anecdotal evidence that traffic has actually slowed through there because of that mural on the road. So I was just thinking that we might have a golden opportunity here to kind of go to the city and the state and say, look, this does work, and maybe we can get some of these crosswalks and other areas, you know, with some interesting designs on the roadway to slow traffic down. That's it.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Judge Mary, you said you had needed 2 minutes, a couple of minutes to talk.
Well, if it's okay, I just want to. Last time I was at this meeting, I think I said that I was running for circuit court, and I am. I'll be on the ballot this Tuesday. I've been your Flint district judge for the last 20 years, and there are no judges from the city of Flint on circuit court at the present time. I'm running for an open seat, or it will be open at the end of the year, because of the retirement of Judge Mike Feely. And to echo what Chris said, if you haven't voted by absentee, or if you have your absentee ballot, it's too late to mail it in. You're going to have to take it to one of the drop-off locations, or take it down to the city clerk's office. But Flint needs to be represented on circuit court. And I'm the only candidate from the city of Flint running for this position. And I will say that from being in the prosecutor's office for 9 years, being a Flint district judge for 20 years, and living in Flint for 57 years, I know that our town should be represented, because I think some of the judges that are there don't necessarily always understand all of the issues that are going on in our town, and we need to be represented. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Jerry, you would like to share something? We got about 10 minutes before our presentation, before we wrap up this section.
Sure, thank you. Jerry Clark, North Flint Neighborhood Action Council, as well as Sharp Manor Neighborhood Association. What we have been doing is we've been continuing to, keep our neighborhood clear from blight by keeping our lawns cut around the area. And to talk about our activity, we are having our block party on the 22nd of August, which is on a Saturday, and it is from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So come out, just come by and just say hi. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hey, I don't know if you knew I was online. This is Claudia Perkins Milton. If I could have a moment.
Yes, sorry, you had froze a little. Go ahead, Claudia.
I'm running for the 34th District State Representative seat, which is, like Judge Marable said, this coming Tuesday, so I would appreciate the support. I have been a lifelong resident of Flint. I ran the Delphi plants on Dort Highway, Averill, and Center Road. I am currently active in court for the water lawsuits in federal and Supreme Court. I have been working diligently with the highest attorneys over the lawsuit. So I'm active in so many things in this community that I am hanging in the art museum, my portraits. So I would appreciate the support from the community, as I have families on top of families working in the UAB. So that's what I had to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, is Mayor Neely still on the call?
Joyce,
Yep,
I'm sorry.
I'm here.
Lucille, see my oh, sorry, Lucille, did you see my thing in the chat?
I'm still here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I see.
Oh, did
Yes,
you-
we can hear you.
Yep, just to make it clear, we have a special investigative unit that is engaging in a lot of activities. And so we will be, you can contact Chief Phil Hart for any particular special activities that you need these guys to engage in moving forward. Also, I would also want to caution people to make sure they understand that we're in the middle of the pandemic still. The numbers inside the city of Flint and also in the county and the state is growing. So when we have engagements, we want to make sure that we observe all the practices that the scientists and the medical professionals are saying, because the numbers are growing. They're not going back. The governor has just stepped us back to no more than 10 inside, no more than 100 outside. And making sure that we do and observe all laws as we go forward for this thing, because this pandemic is a debilitating thing for any community, and in that African-American community, which is Flint, or predominantly African-American, has been hitting us very, very hard. And so we want to make sure we observe those things. I heard a person talk about a block party, but definitely we want to make sure that we do everything. And so Dr. Lawrence Reynolds is our health advisor for the city of Flint, and also we use Dr. Furholden. And we're strictly adhering to all laws from the state. There has not been any permitting any particular activity at all in the public spaces. We don't have jurisdiction on private places, but there's no permitting given. And so I would encourage anybody who are engaging in some type of activity to talk to Dr. Lawrence Reynolds to get their activities sanctioned and the best practices that can be held there for this virus not to spread. I'm very concerned about this. I'm so happy that Tuesday is amongst us. The people can vote at City Hall today. They can go to Burston Field House. They can go to Word of Life Church or Mintz Manor. There's one more site, but I cannot remember to cast a vote for the candidate of your choosing. But we definitely have a lot of things going on in our community, but I'm hopeful and I'm prayerful that we can unite as one community, as this group has always done after Tuesday, so we can lay down the strife and all the negativity that's been going on. But we also have a problem with violence in our community and gun violence. And so we have hired, we have 14 vacant positions in the City of Flint Police Department. We have just closed applications yesterday. And we had over 200 applicants. So for our fall academy. So we will be filling those positions and then looking forward to making sure that we can have some good officers on the street to protect and serve residents. And if you have any additional questions, because I don't want to take a lot of time, I know you have about maybe 6 minutes before you get to your presentation, but if you have any concerns, please feel free to give my office a call or call the appropriate department to get the information that's necessary. And so with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much. All right, our last sheriff for this section is Joyce Ellis McNeil. You there, Joyce?
I'm here. Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody. Maybe the mayor can help with this. We have a couple of people. I'm over here in Nethercutt Neighborhood Association. What can we do? We got people turning the front yard into an auto repair place. You can hardly get through the street because these couple of guys got about 4 or 5 cars, and they doing auto repair. They got motors and everything in their front yard. What can we do, or who do I contact? I'm over here in the 8th Ward by Nethercutt School.
Yeah, just Joyce, inbox me on Facebook. I think we're Facebook friends. Give me the address and we can send a neighborhood safety officer over there to give them a ticket. And also, since our last conversation, I think the chief has told me that we have impounded maybe 7 cars over the last week. And so with those 7 cars, I think our impound lot is starting to look more like a Dodge dealership because they have a lot of Dodge Chargers and Challengers those cars have been racing up and down the street. And so Joyce, just inbox me the address and we can get that done for you.
Can I jump in here? I'm sorry, this is Karma. You're talking about these Dodge Chargers racing up and down the street. So what do we need to do in order to get them reported?
Well, they're impounding them as we speak, and usually over the weekend they snatch about 4 or 5 of them. The command has been given out last week to start impounding cars for the racing activity that we all been witnessing. Over in the Target Plaza, they barricaded that plaza yesterday. We have jurisdiction over that particular plaza because we're doing some economic development deals there. We stopped that glide your ride or whatever last week, and they've been grabbing cars and a lot of weapons off the street over this last week. So the Special Investigative Unit has been doing a fabulous job in doing those things. And so I think when they snatch these Dodge Chargers and Challengers, I think they're getting their attention right now. And so they're out there investigating now. We're at the intersection of crisis, and we're doing a fantastic job of doing what we need to do. But we may need everybody to stay positive in their engagement because we have a lot of things going on, and you guys have been doing a fantastic job. So Joyce, just inbox me that address, and I can get neighborhood safety officers over there next week.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Our speakers, do we have them on? We're gonna have a presentation from the Flint service line map. Ian Robinson, Jared Webb, and Stacy Woods.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I actually, can I get the ability to share our screen, to share my screen?
Teresa?
Yep, you should be all set now.
Great, thank you. Perfect. All right, so.
Make sure they have their computers on mute so our presenters don't have any background noise. That would be great.
All right, well, thank you so much to Karma for inviting us to present and for the Flint Neighborhoods United group for allowing us this opportunity. So we're here presenting the Flint service line map, which aims to empower residents with information about the status of the pipe replacement program at their address, what they can do to get the pipe, their line confirmed and or replaced, and steps that they can take to reduce lead exposure. So we're the team behind the new Flint service line map, Ian Robinson and Jared Webb from a company called Blue Conduit, which is a data science company passionate about improving public health. Our work so far has been focused on locating lead service lines starting in Flint in 2016 and now helping more than 30 other cities do the same. We're also joined by Dr. Stacy Woods, who works as a scientist at the Natural Resources Defense Council, or NRDC, which has been working in Flint for years. We created this map because we believe that residents of Flint should be able to easily accessible information about the service lines that bring water into their homes. The city of Flint has said that it wants to finish the pipe replacement work this year, which means the clock is ticking for everyone who wants to get their service lines checked and replaced under the pipe replacement program. If you have specific questions about the replacement program, please direct those to the city. Today, our presentation is about the map that we built that shows the pipe materials at residential homes across Flint. So why did we make a map and why did we make it now? So as I had mentioned, we created this map because we believe the residents should be able to easily access information about the service lines that are bringing water into their homes. We have been working on this map for almost a year and wanted to get it out now, since the city has recently restarted its inspections and replacements after a COVID hiatus. The city has committed to inspect residential service lines with active water accounts and to replace lead or galvanized steel lines at no cost to residents, but the residents must give the city permission to inspect their service lines, and this is the kind of information we include in the map. Flint residents can use this map to find out the current pipe material at their homes, to find out whether and when their home lines have been inspected, to link to the city's inspection permission form, and to access resources on how to protect yourself and your family in case you have lead service lines. I'm now going to pass it over to my colleague, Jared Webb, who's going to speak about the data behind the map.
Is Jared on?
Is he there or is he on mute maybe? Where? Jared? I do not see
I don't
Jared.
see him. So that's okay. I can speak his portion, and that's totally fine. So when our team began to work in Flint in 2016, the city data on pipe materials were not easily available to residents. In fact, the only information that we were able to find was contained in the tattered hand-drawn maps. This new map makes all of the city's service line data available to any resident at any time. We periodically receive data from the city where they've visually inspected or replaced a service line. Once we get that data, we push it up onto the map so that it is as up to date as possible. The most recent update came last week. For houses where the city has not yet inspected, we assign a likelihood of having a lead service line based on a mathematical model. This model uses publicly available information like age of home, its location, and existing service line materials to give an estimate for the material at the unknown address, or where the material is unknown. We've been asked how accurate this model is. So we found that the model is very accurate. For example, when given a home with a copper pipe and a home with a lead pipe, the model correctly predicted which home had the lead pipe 95% of the time. Why does this matter? Well, eventually we want every home off of the list, but the order matters. By prioritizing homes with a higher likelihood of lead, the city is able to get the lead out of the ground faster. You'll see some homes are yellow on the map. This means that those homes have a moderate likelihood of having a lead service line. This might be because the information we have from the city isn't indicating that there is a safe pipe material at the location. Sometimes the data we get is just plain messy. For example, there are homes where the city records say the pipes are galvanized or other material. And there are other homes where the records indicate they are plastic or other material. When the records aren't clear, the model takes a precautious approach. And now I'm going to pass it over to Stacy, who is going to walk through the map.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Ian. And let me see if I can. I'm going to go over to the map, and I also want to make sure that we share the map website with everyone. It's flintpipemap.org. So if you all want to go over and walk through on your own or follow along and go over later, it's flintpipemap.org. And we were very happy we were able to land that rather easy to remember web address. So I just wanted to walk us through the map while we're all together and be available to answer some questions as they come up. So first, I just want to show that when you enter the map, what you're looking at here is the current service line information across the city of Flint. And the color coding for the map is on the legend over here. And you'll see that we have a couple of different colors available on the map. On either end of the spectrum, we have the places that the city has already gone to and investigated the water lines to see what material they're made of. There's known copper, and those are our dark green colors, and our known lead, and those are our red colors. And in between, we have the places where the city has not yet been and looked at the pipe material and told us what they found. And for those houses, we use that mathematical model that Ian was talking about to estimate the likelihood of whether or not those houses have lead service lines. And those are represented by the colors over here. Now the other color you'll see on the map is gray. And at gray locations, that's just places where we were unable to verify a current water account. And that could be for any number of reasons. That could be an empty home, it could be a vacant lot. We weren't able to verify that a water account was active there, and so we weren't able to run the model. So as you're looking at the map and you're interested in looking at your home or the homes of your loved ones, there's a couple of different ways you can navigate. It works like Google Maps. You can use on the lower right-hand side, you can use the zooms, you can click and drag, but you can also just jump right to an address of interest, and that's up here on your right-hand side. I'm going to use a volunteered address to show you what it looks like. Let's see here. So you start typing it in, pops up, and the map will zoom to the location. Now, The pop-ups for the different houses are specific to those houses. And in the pop-ups for the houses that you look for, we share all of the information that we have for that house. So for this house, we have the current service line. We know the date that the old service line was replaced. We also know what they found before they replaced it. So we have the historical service line information here. So that's for a house that has been visited and replaced. But if you look at, let's click on a house that hasn't yet been visited, you have the likelihood. So what the model says is the likelihood of lead. And you're also connected here in the center to the Flint Pipe Replacement Program website and the phone number. So if you are in a house that we don't have information that says that the city has already gone and looked at your pipe material, you can connect to the pipe replacement program directly from inside the pop-up for your house. So I also want to show we have a frequently asked questions section of the map. So if you look along the top line of the map here, this is the way that you can navigate around. The FAQ, these are questions that we've received from Flint residents as we've worked on the map. So since the beginning, actually the idea for a map came from some residents of Flint who were asking if they could see our model results and what might be the easiest way to share those. And so that's how the idea for the map came along. And all along the way, we've worked with volunteers and people we know in the city to try and create a map that works the best for the people of Flint. And so what happens is the more people we talk to, the more questions come up. And occasionally we get the same questions over and over again. And those are the questions that ended up here on the frequently asked questions. So I don't have time to go through all of them, but I do want to pull out the ones that I hear the most. And that, of course, is this one. When can I expect my water's home service line to be replaced? So like Ian said when we first started talking, those kind of questions really should be directed to the city. We're really just taking the information that the city shares with us and turning it around and sharing it with you all. But we want to make sure that we're connecting you with the right people to ask those questions. So we have links to the pipe replacement program website here. We also have phone numbers. And like Ian said, you really, you need to opt into the pipe inspection program. So we have information here about how you can opt into that program. And you can also check whether or not you've already given that permission. We have all that information here in the frequently asked questions. So another question that we get a lot is how that mathematical model works. So, obviously for the homes that the city has gone to and inspected, they can just tell us, hey, we found copper, or hey, we found lead or galvanized steel. But for the homes that haven't yet been inspected, how does that model work? How do we estimate the likelihood of lead? And so we talk a little bit more about that. And again, Ian kind of briefly touched on that, but here we talk about how we use information that we do know about the home. So for example, what year the home was built, to estimate what we don't know about the home, which is what the lead service line, or what the service lines are made out of. And then again, we do get a lot of questions about those grayed out areas. So we added, this just little explainer about what does it mean when we say we can't verify a water account. And it means simply that, when we ask the water department, hey, is there a water account here? For some reason they say no, that's as far as we go with those gray homes. So I'm going to go back to the map here and just show a few other things before I open this up to you all for some questions. So one of the things that we really tried to do is create a map that is as accessible for as many people as possible. And so the few things that we did in order to do that was we created a colorblind friendly version of the map. So of course, red-green colorblindness is quite common. And so if you click on the colorblind friendly option here in the legend, it actually changes all of the colors of the map so that it's viewable across different color abilities. The other thing we did was we realized that Spanish is the second most common language spoken in Flint. So we wanted to offer a Spanish-friendly option. And that actually translates the entire map website into Spanish. So when you click on the Spanish option, not just the legend turns into Spanish, but the pop-ups are in Spanish, the frequently asked questions are in Spanish. And so you can get to the Spanish option even from the front page. So that's available, you know, at every point. Before I open up for questions, I just want to make sure to show you all the many ways that you can contact us. So say you're playing on the map and you see something that's just incorrect for your house. That's great. You can let us know and we can fix it. There are many ways you can do that. You can fill out the error form we have on the left-hand side and the legend over here. You can click here to submit a correction. You can also contact the entire map team. So it auto-generates an email to me and Ian and to Jared by just filling out this contact form on the top. So if you have a correction or if you want to talk to us, those are two very easy ways for you to do it. So the contact form is here on the top, and that way you can just auto-email us. For both the correction form and the contact form, we ask that you give us your name and some contact information. But we also wanted to create a way that people can give us their feedback anonymously. And so we've created this user experience survey, and that's up here on the top. And it just goes to a separate, just a SurveyMonkey 8-question survey that we created, because we're constantly reviewing and updating the map and website. And we want to make sure that we're creating the best map and the best website for the people who are actually using it. So the easiest way for you to give us your opinion and the way that you've experienced the map is by filling out the survey. And we really appreciate anybody who can fill this out and just help us make the map better. And this, like I said, the survey is completely anonymous. So I think that's it. I will hand the mic back here to Ian, and we can open it up to questions and answers about the map. But before I do that, I just want to repeat one more time the website. It's flintpipemap.org. And thank you all so much for having us join you. We're really excited that we finally have the map live, and we're really excited to share it and get some feedback and make sure that we're connecting with everybody.
So thank you very much, Stacy. And once again, thank you so much to Flint Neighborhood United to allow us to present today, and for Karma for making this happen. And we'll open it up to questions in a second. But before we do that, we want to emphasize that we want to make sure that as many residents as possible are aware of this map. We are happy to present to other groups or create flyers, PDFs, or emails that would help you spread the word. So if this is something that interests you, we can talk about it in the question and answer, or also reach out to us in the contact form, and we'd love to make that happen. So with that, thank you so much for allowing us to present, and we're happy to answer questions.
All right, thank you. That was a very interesting presentation. I would like to start playing with that map. Chris had a question.
And actually, you almost sort of kind of answered it with the survey, but I was going to suggest, you know, especially for, first I want to say that the map is great. You know, it's a terrific thing. It's a great resource. But when you were talking about gray areas on the map that you have no information, I was going to suggest that you added a link on the site to the Flint property portal. Because you know, if someone has a gray area in their neighborhood, is next door to them or whatever, and they click on that and there's no information, they could also then go to the Flint property portal and determine whether there's a home there, and that might give you some better information as to what, you know, where the city might need to go to replace a service line. Other than that, I think you guys have done a terrific job, and I look forward to playing with it.
Great, thank you so much. So this is exactly what we're looking for, this kind of direct feedback, and we can just add a link, and you know, so that sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Chris. Anyone has a question? Okay, Barb, did you want to ask your question?
I don't know if you can answer this or not. I've heard different opinions on this. If a house is a rental house, can the resident authorize inspection, or does it have to be the homeowner? In our neighborhood, we have a few places where the renter says that that they can't authorize the inspection for the lead.
I think that would be a question for the city. I'm not really clear. Ian, do you know that off the top of your head? I think.
I don't know that answer off the top of my head, but it's
I
also
didn't
something.
figure you guys would, but I just wanted.
It's also something that we would like to learn the answer to as well, and so we can look into it on our end. And Barb, also, if you find the answer and you're exploring, you can send us an email on the contact form so that we can also make sure we have this too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else has a question?
How do we contact this group for a presentation elsewhere?
So the easiest way is just to use this contact form. It auto emails all of us. So it's just on the top of the map here.
Great.
Yeah, it just says contact, and that will reach all of us. It's the easiest way. Thank you.
Question.
Any other questions?
I have
Okay.
one.
All right, Heather.
Heather, so is your information in this map being used by the general contractor in the city to then, so once you've identified the houses that still have yet to be done and you've prioritized high likelihood of lead, medium, low, so are they then using this map to prioritize how they're finishing the houses that haven't been done?
Sure. Ian, do you want to talk a bit about how Blue Conduit shares the information with the city?
Sure. So the city, the categories of the homes that show up on the map by color are in terms of priority. So high, medium, and low likelihood of lead. And so in the medium and high likelihood and also known lead, those are homes that the city is on its prioritized list for them to go reach out to the residents to get their permission. They are mandated as part of the consent agreement to go to those homes specifically. And so I think that's part of the answer to the question. And then the other is, with this information, the idea behind the map is to, in case those attempts that the city has made to communicate with those residents did not result in the residents knowing about this or knowing about the program, the idea is that the map is a tool for the residents to then reach out directly to the city with this information to sign up for the program. So to answer, yes, this has been used and is being used by the city, and then the tool, the map itself, is an opportunity for the residents to reach out to the city so that to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks.
All right, thank you. Karma, you had a question?
Yep, I'm still muted. Actually, it was more of a comment. I saw a familiar face out there that is a part of this project, and that's General McDaniel. General McDaniel, I have missed you ever since you left, and I'm glad to see you here.
Karma, when I heard that you had invited us, I had to be on the call. So
Great.
Thank you for the shout out. It's great to see you and see everyone else in the city of Flint. I listened to the whole meeting. It's just so heartwarming to see that it's truly still the residents of the city of Flint that are keeping that city moving forward. It's just, I have said repeatedly over the last 4 years since I started there that that the residents of that city are truly the heart and soul of the city and will assure that city remains a strong and vibrant community. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. I've been working with Blue Conduit now for the last 2 years.
Great. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Tammy, did you have a question?
Yes, I was just thinking that after we use the map and we find out that a particular residence, maybe a friend of ours or our own home, is at high risk for lead, but for the inspection and all that, but after they find lead there or whatever, isn't there a pretty extensive cost involved in having that the owner is responsible for inside the homes to actually replace those? And so my question is there financial assistance available for homes in Flint that inside the homes need to have their pipes replaced?
Sure. So I want to be clear that the information on this map is actually just for the service line. So it doesn't reflect anything that happens inside the home. So your internal plumbing, your faucets, things like that, we don't have that data. And so the service line materials that's reflected in this map are the materials that are actually covered in the Flint pipe replacement program. So the Flint pipe replacement program allows for inspection and replacement at no cost to homeowners. But again, it's really just for those pipes, you know, the one that goes from the water main to the public side and then into your house. Once that the material, you know, once that service line ends, the things that happen inside your home, we don't have that information for individual homeowners. So I'm not sure that's a different, that would be a different map, I suppose I should say. So I'm not really sure how to speak to that kind of the cost there. But the cost for the service line itself, the replacement, the information that's covered here, that's covered under the Flint pipe replacement program. So that, you know, is a no cost to homeowners type of a replacement.
Okay, I think Karma might have the answer.
There's the state of Michigan's lead abatement program. And I believe if you contact the mayor's office, they do have information on that, because I heard the announcement maybe a week or two ago. But that's who your neighbor would need to contact, will be the state of Michigan's lead abatement program. And after we're all done with this, I will share that information on the Flint Neighborhoods United's Facebook page. And I'll also make sure that Chris has the information so he can get it out into the email blast. And also another thing, if we do not have your email address, please include that in the group chat so that Chris can add you to our contact list and make sure you have all of the updated information that we have.
So Karma, I will add a link to the lead abatement program from within the website as well to make sure that people can connect out from there. So thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, do anyone else have any questions? Okay.
Hey, Karma. Yeah, I did. I was just checking to see if there was anyone from the Glendale Hills Association on the call.
Is there anyone from Glendale Hills?
Yes, Nancy Schweitzer.
Oh, okay.
I don't actually live, I live a little bit outside of it, and so I'm the secretary.
Oh, okay,
so
that's
I have
fine.
some contacts with them, obviously, so a couple phone
Okay.
numbers for the president and vice president and so on.
Okay, yeah, I would like to have that information. Please,
Oh, you
thank
need
you.
for me to give out people's phone numbers?
No, 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 no. I'm talking about for you. And then that
Okay,
way
yeah.
we could email each other and get it that way.
Okay, so,
Okay.
oh, I thought you had a question about the presentation.
I'm
if-
sorry, no.
You
I
can
thought we were done.
share your information in the chat to each
Actually, no, I'm
other.
on a phone. I'm on a phone.
Okay.
I use the internet a little bit at libraries.
Okay, we will get you guys connected later on.
Thank you, thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
All right. Any other questions? Is there anything else, Stacy or Ian, that you would like to share about the map or any information you think will benefit to the group to share?
No, just every time that we are able to speak with people, we learn new things like the Flint property portal and the Michigan lead abatement program. And these are the kind of things that we're looking to add. So we just really want to make sure that we're open and available to people. So please use that contact form up there and let us know the things that you want to see. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And our chat and will be added to the minutes, and all the information we'll make sure gets out to everyone. Is there anyone on the meeting that have any information to share about the census? I think Tony was on earlier. I'm not sure if he's still. Okay, doesn't look like it. So the numbers I've been seeing for our response rate is kind of low. So please try to encourage everyone you know to complete the census form. It just takes a few minutes. If you have a smartphone, you can do it from your smartphone. we can get, Tony will be able to get information out to you and your groups, to share information. If you want him to, you know, do a Zoom presentation or whatever kind of activity, he's available. Do you have his information, Carmen, that you can share? I know he has passed it out before.
Yes, let me dig it up and I'll put it in chat.
All right. Okay, so we're going a little, looks like the meeting will be ending early. Is there anyone else to have anything that they would like to share? Any special events, anything coming up?
I just want to put another reminder in to check out the Pitch for K competition that will be hosted virtually, and we'll be announcing the next competition date at the end of the August 6th competition.
Okay.
Is it possible? Is it possible that we could get the chats and the recording for this material sent to us as well?
Yeah, the chat is, Talia converts the chat into our minutes, added to the minutes, and I believe the recording is available. Is that correct, Chris?
I'll send the link for the video. I'll have, well, what we end up doing, this is Teresa at the CRIM. We'll get the video over to the CRIM's technology people and they'll get it on Facebook for us. Or YouTube, I'm sorry. They'll put it on YouTube and then you can embed the video anywhere you want, like the FNU website or email or whatever.
Teresa, could you send me that link when you get it?
Yep.
And one other thing, if you want to, if you open your chat window, you will find in the lower right-hand corner 3 little dots. If you click on that, you'll get a window that says Save Chat, and you can save the chat as it is, and you kind of go back and write down any email addresses and that kind of stuff as you wish. It'll form a new folder on your computer called Zoom, and you can save all your Zoom chats there.
All right, thanks. All right, Karma posted Tony Turner's contact information in the chat. Tony Turner, Flint Census Guru, census@cityofflint.com. And if you would like any kind of material, any information, if you would like him to do a presentation, please contact Tony. He's available and trying to get the word out. All right,
Cheryl Christoph again.
Yes, ma'am.
My question has intensified. If anybody has any suggestions on how we can get the 2 boats out of the parking lot and to the appropriate place from behind Zimmerman, please let me know about a resource or manpower that might be able to help us get rid of those.
Cheryl, are those boats on trailers or just sitting there?
Just sitting there.
What kind of boats are they? What size, roughly?
You know, I haven't recorded that data yet. I'll have to go make a measurement.
Cheryl, take a picture of them.
Okay.
Take a picture of them, post them on Facebook, and ask people if they want to come pick them up.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who can fix up stuff. They might just be really happy about the gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is Liddell Lewis. I'm not sure if you all already discussed it, but I know that that Republic and the city of Flint, they're doing that blight elimination thing. So so if she fills out an application about having the blight removed from her specific ward, 'cause I think they were doing they were doing it per ward. And so if they select her ward, they'll come and remove everything.
And this is an application through the city of Flint?
Yeah, it is a partnership with the city of Flint and Republic.
Okay.
So, here, I can give you the information because I have the sheet here, because when I spoke with Heather from the city of Flint, she informed me that although they put it out, a lot of they don't get that many applications. So a lot of people don't apply for it.
Cheryl, if you go to the Flint Neighborhoods United Facebook page,
Uh-huh.
That information is right on the homepage.
I
Oh.
can contact Heather too. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Oh, so you have Heather Griffin information?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
All right, anyone else have anything to share? Okay, look like we're finishing early today. So our next meeting will be Saturday, September 5th. I guess we'll be by
Yes,
Zoom.
I did have one more thing to share, and I was trying to enter it in the chat thing and was getting all scrambled there. I was just wondering if we could hear from Trooper Kramer about especially the shootings and other crime activity lately. You know, everybody's been uncomfortable and under pressure, and I wonder if he has any observations that could help us in that regard. There's been a lot of gunshots in our area, in the Kersley Park area neighborhood, and I was on the phone with the Mott security office, and one of the sergeants there was saying she's never seen it like this. So I wonder if you have any observations, Trooper Kramer, that could help us.
The only thing I can tell you as far as that goes is between the state police and the city of Flint, working with the university law enforcement there, kind of doing the best we can. Our unit that works with Flint PD has kind of been overloaded. The investigative section, you know, that gets called out to the shootings and things like that. I don't know if we have an explanation for the uptick other than, you know, when things like this pandemic are going on, it's creating more crime. You know, it kind of doesn't have any rhyme or reason, I guess. The only thing I can tell you is we're doing the best we can. If you have specific areas that gunshots or things like that are going off, my lieutenant, Jeff Short, has asked that you send us that information. I posted my email address here in the chat. Send me any specific areas that you may have. And that's kind of how we patrol the city, is kind of on we're statistic driven and as needed. So you know, you guys know what's going on in your neighborhoods better than we do. We can only respond after the fact. But if you can tell us any specific areas that are in particular problems, we can try to kind of get ahead of the game there a little bit and have officers and troopers in those areas. I know we do, our MCU, the Major Crimes Unit, like I said, is working with Flint PD. The troopers that do the Flint patrol are out there, and we're taking all of your guys' input very seriously and trying to address all of those issues. We are, myself and my partner are trying to get back into the community. There's going to be something coming out. We're working with the Major Crimes Unit there, kind of trying to address neighborhoods, get ourselves out there, maybe just trying to get some communication and some cooperation back with the community. This whole pandemic has made it a little bit difficult for us to be as community involved as we want to be. But like I said, my email's there. Most of you guys have my phone number. If you don't, Chris can get it to you. I can post it on here. But reach out to us. Let us know what, when, and where these things are happening, and we'll do our best to address them.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and put my email address in here again, along with my department cell phone.
All right, thank you. Anyone else have anything that they would like to share?
I'll make an announcement just before we leave. I'm Heather Bernash. I think most of you know me. I've been attending these meetings for a few years now. But my name will also be on the ballot for 67th District Court in the city of Flint. There are 4 judges in the city of Flint. And this is Judge Perry's seat. He's aged out. Once you're 70, you can't be a judge anymore. That's state law. So it's an open seat. There are 4 candidates, and I'm one of them. Judge Perry actually called me aside, and he's the one that kind of talked me into this and encouraged me to run for his seat. I'm a lifelong Flint resident, 5th generation Flint resident. Bought my house off the demo list. House next door to me is vacant and has been the whole time I've lived here for 25 years in this house. My kid's blood tested high for lead. My pipes still have not been replaced. I know what people are going through in Flint because I'm going through it too on a daily basis. I'm living a uniquely Flint life, just like all of you are. So I would just ask for your consideration on Tuesday. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Heather. Anyone
I
have
think-
anything?
I think it would be helpful also to mention who was it that mentioned a little while ago, it's too late now to mail in a ballot. It's not going to get there on time, so be sure to take your mail-in ballot down to City Hall, Burston Fieldhouse, or the other places that were mentioned. Hope everybody's aware of those and can find out, or simply go to vote on Tuesday. You know, we're Americans, we have a privilege. It's a right, we don't want to waste it. Okay.
Thanks, Tom. Any final words before we adjourn the meeting? All right. Thanks, everyone. For me, it has been interesting. So we will see everyone at our next meeting, Saturday, September 5th. And we'll get the minutes out. Chris will get the minutes out to everyone. And as Chris instructed earlier, if you want to save your chat, in the chat box, you'll see the three little dots.